The $1 million question when it comes to any collector edition is how important is it to you to have some icon or some piece of memorabilia from a franchise or a game that you're going to look back at years from now very fondly? It's so easy to buy collector editions for things that turn out to be not great games or forgettable experiences. Not so sure this is the case with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Cowabunga Collection Limited Edition. I say that only because I am, as many of you probably are, a child of the 80s, and I fondly remember watching Ninja Turtles, both the animated series, then ultimately in the movie theater. The series has a very near and dear place to my heart, as I'm sure it is to many other people. So when I heard the Cowabunga Collection was coming out, I was already excited. Now I just saw that they're actually releasing a limited collector's edition for it, which will run you $150. Question is your nostalgia good enough with just the games, or do you want more? Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of information on this. I can show you what the product listing says. I have scoured the internet to try to find pictures or any other news article talking about this edition, and I can't find anything. You're probably asking yourself, Jim, why are you doing a video now to tell us about it if we don't know anything? And that's very, very simple. It's because every time a collector edition comes out, it almost inevitably sells out, and I get a litany of comments much later down the road saying, oh, it's sold out, I didn't know about it. And I always tell people, if you subscribe to my channel, I would have told you about it long before any other people did. So that is my sales pitch on why I think you may want to subscribe or at least check it out for yourself. But if you do decide to pick up this collector edition, you're going to get some very interesting things with it. Now, I am showing the Nintendo Switch version. My understanding is you can pick this up for any of the platforms. This is not Switch exclusive, although I'd probably pick it up for the Switch personally, but everybody's got their own choice. The base game, as I think we have discussed on the channel before, is going to include those classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. There are 13 of them, which have some modern experiences, different borders, and quality of life features, and that sort of things. But you're going to be getting even more. You're going to get a physical copy of the game, which I think is funny that they're really adamant about the original box design. And I talk a lot about this, and here is the box. This is actually the only thing we can actually see. There's no contents revealed. Everything else from here on out is just a verbal description. But I always find it interesting, and I always talk about how much I love collector edition boxes, and I love displaying them. This is definitely a very stylized piece of art. I think it actually looks pretty cool. You got the Foot Soldier there. You got all the Ninja Turtles, Shredder. You got April O'Neil. Next to Shredder, interestingly enough, not really sure what she's doing there. She probably should be somewhere else, but that's okay. So you're going to get the box. Good. Well, you're also going to get a cloth poster featuring the adaptation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtle in Time. I'm not entirely sure if this is the same thing as the box art. Maybe not. I mean, I'm guessing that the cloth poster by this guy, and the reason they're really kind of hyping up Kevin Eastman is you can expect some kind of wall scroll type art that is similar in artistic style to this. If you like this particular style, then you'll probably like what he has to sell. You're also going to get a multi-layer acrylic diorama of the Ninja Turtles, which isn't really all that big. I have seen things like this before, most notably in the Ni no Kuni 2 Collector Edition. If you're curious what some dioramas look like there, I'm sure I have a video on my channel kind of unboxing that, or just Google Ni no Kuni 2 Collector Edition. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. That's my best guess as to what that item actually is going to be. It's a nice little thing, a little, like a little shelf trinket or something that's got a little bit of depth to it that shows off all the characters. I think that'd be kind of neat to look at if you're a fan. You're going to get an enamel pin set, including the Technodrome, the Turtle Blimp, the Party Wagon, Shredder, and Krang. I don't think I saw Krang here, did I? No, Krang is not here. That's okay. Foot Soldier's there, though. So that'll be interesting to see, little pin set. I have a couple different pin boards, in the house, and I have a backpack where I'm constantly adding more and more pins to it. At this point, the bag probably weighs 10 pounds empty because it's just loaded with things that I've collected over the years. But might be something neat to consider. You're also going to get a set of 12 translucent comic-style cartoon trading cards based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tournament fighters with rarely seen appearances, including Wingnut, Armageddon, Chrome Dome, War, Asuka, and Karai. Now, I'm really going to date myself here. I do remember Wingnut very specifically. The other ones I do not. I'm guessing this is more modern Ninja Turtle stuff, but you're going to get a set of trading cards. Now, I would think with trading cards, if you were going to display them, they do make those picture frames that have cutouts already. I don't know if there's anything interesting on the back of these trading cards, and I'm not sure with the fact that they're translucent if that means you don't want them all flat. Maybe you want to actually hold each individual one in your hand. I'm not really entirely sure. I don't know the best way to display these, so if you're an avid card collector and you know a better way to look at your stuff besides putting them in those plastic cases with the screws in the corner, I don't know if that's just you have a stack of cards that you like to go through, but I'd be curious to hear from others what the best way to show those are. You're also going to get a full art color, some said coloring book. That'd be funny. A full color art book with 180 pages featuring a chapter dedicated to each of the 13 games, which sounds really, really cool. But you look at the size here, and I know that the technology back then was the CRT, the 240p, small, kind of grainy images. I just don't know how much art value you're going to get by holding a book in your hands that is 5.5 inches by 8 inches. It just seems really small to me. Yes, it is dense. 180 pages over 13 games means you're getting at least 10 pages of content per game. So I'm thinking more along the lines of like game manual art, honestly. Remember back when we had game manuals? I think you're going to get something more along the lines of that. I don't know how much you're going to get in the way of conceptual art. A lot of this game was stylized after the cartoon had started to gain popularity. There wasn't really a lot of radical change in the game. It was basically a one-to-one from what the cartoon graphics were at the time. So I'm not really sure what you're going to get in terms of like behind the scenes inside baseball, but keep that in mind. And that is it. The question you have to ask yourself, the base game, I want to say it's like $30, maybe $40, is a collector edition that is easily $100 more expensive than the base game. Good? Is it something that you are interested in getting? If you hold a lot of value in these this unique art, I guess, and the trading cards and the diorama and stuff, maybe. For me personally, not so much. I think my nostalgia definitely does run deep with Ninja Turtles. It's a period of my life and a television show that I always will look back at fondly. I just don't really see the need to spend this much on something that seems somewhat lackluster. I think a statue would have been way cooler. Always, 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 always. I don't know how you're going to pull off a statue with so many iconic characters because you're going to tick somebody off, whether you know, maybe a statue of Shredder or something. I don't know. That would be a tricky sell, and I understand that. And I guess when you have such a diverse cast of very identifiable and very unique characters, you know, you're looking at all the Ninja Turtle characters, and you're like, oh, I really, like, for me, Donatello's always my guy, right? But I know a lot of my friends like, oh, I was a Michelangelo fan, or oh, I really like Shredder, or I really like Splinter, or whatever. There's a lot to choose from here. It's hard to make a figure to kind of appease everybody. I understand that. But then you look at kind of the other stuff that's available, and it just doesn't really seem like there's any large item. It almost feels like they kind of just took a bunch of small things, almost like stocking stuffer type things. And when I see collector editions like this, it always makes me feel kind of like, oh, it's not that great. This looks more along the lines of something you'd see from a limited run games collector edition, where you might get a small item here or there. Nothing really mind-blowing, earth-shattering that was like, oh my God, I have to have that. But just like small little things, like a pair of socks or a button or a hat or something. No big key item that you look at and say, that is my collector edition. That is what I spent all this money on. So there you guys have it. First look at the Cowabunga Collection Limited Edition. Right now it's only at Target. I cannot confirm if it will be available at other stores later on. It may not. I don't know. But if you are interested, as I tell you on every single video, you could pre-order it now and cancel it later. Hope you guys found this video interesting and informative. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.